focusing primarily on data science and analytics. Now, before we start the session, here are some instructions to make sure the talk goes as smooth as it could be. There are 5 things to be understood. The first one will be to mute your microphone when you're not talking, unless maybe you would like to pull up a question without going through chat, then yes, by all means, go ahead. And that is typically set for the second option, whereby you are required to only turn on your mic when you want to ask questions, or you're just free to post your question within the chat box itself. And after the Q&A session, which is at the end of today's session, which is give or take maybe about 7:20 or 7:25, it is required by UCSI's requirements under the Student Affairs and Alumni for us to take a group photo whereby it will be submitted to SAA in order to provide the necessary points for all UCSI students. And for external guests, you're also free to turn on your camera in order to join the group photo, which will be posted on our public social media platforms as well. And of course, there'll also be a link for the feedback form to be posted at the end of the session so that you'll be able to record the attendance and essentially reduce our workload regarding the documentation side. Now, before we introduce our today's speaker, Ms. IDT, we are actually be providing a session to Mr. Omang in order to discuss about the elite techno groups, whereby he'll be talking about some of the courses that will be available and also how you're able to apply for it in the upcoming discount sessions. I hope that you'll like today's session. And with that said, I shall now pass the session over to Mr. Omang. Thank you.
Thank you, Bacon. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes.
Perfect. First of all, very good evening for you guys. It's pretty afternoon still here, but yeah, glad to connect again. So yeah, I think many of the audience would be same from the last time, but I thought before we start, I will just give a 1 minute intro about Elite Techno Groups, and then we'll be handing over to the expert Aditi without any further delay then. So, and the courses and other details will be just walking through at the end of the session before the attendance. So, Elite Techno Groups, as if you are coming from the previous session, you already know that we work with engineering students to upskill them for the industrial fields. And the key domains we work in are in mechanical, automotive, data sciences. In automotive, we are also in electric vehicle, autonomous vehicle, and in design space primarily. You have already had a session on CFD, and we also have good programs on CATIA, NX, SolidWorks, and these upcoming design fields. So with this session, the agenda is essentially to help be part of the community. IMEC is doing good work in terms of getting the experts to the institutes, and from our point of view, our focus is that we give you insight via some concepts which are used in the industry, and see how we can help you further if you would be interested in taking bigger steps forward for the industry. So that's all. I think, yeah, with this, Light Technogroups is always inclined towards interacting more and more with students. So we will be in touch. Today is the session on data analytics, and tomorrow we have a 4-hour session on electric vehicles, for which many of you would have been registered as well. So that would be starting again, for which you would be getting details from the team anyways. So with this, further, yeah, Bacon, would you be introducing the expert, or should I hand it over to you?
Yes, I will have a small session introducing the parts that will be discussed and also what can be expected from the session. So once again, I'm turning on my camera. I won't be sharing my screen, but I shall be reading out some of the things that you'll be learning later on. First and foremost, our speaker, Ms. Aditi, who shall be bringing her rich experience regarding the fields of Power BI, which is a data analysis software typically associated with Microsoft, and also using the SAC featuring on the 2021.10 format. There are many parts that will be discussed throughout this session, but just to break it down, we'll have 7 points, which you can also refer to the poster itself, whereby it is the introduction to data analytics. The data analytics BS, and so the business intelligence, industry usability, and a market scenario regarding such technology, the practical hand-on regarding the SQL, Tableau, and Power BI, a real-time project life cycle, which will be demonstrated later on, the future scope regarding this field of expertise, and ultimately some of the tools that can assist with your learning experience. And with that said, I shall now pass the full session over to Ms. Aditi, and the session shall begin in earnest. Thank you very much, and I hope you all enjoyed the session.
Thanks a lot, Ben. Thanks, Umang. So guys, I'm just going to share my screen. Thanks for joining in the session so far, and please let me know that if you can able to visible. Okay, so guys, I want this session to be interactive as well, and I want this session to be more practical rather than towards more theoretical. But first of all, before jumping directly into the tool, we're going to discuss about the basic terminologies when it comes to analytics and visualization. And I'm continuously take the chats as well, or at the end of the session you can ask me whatever the doubts you all have related to the session, analytics, and as per your career perspective as well. So first of all, please let me know that my screen is visible for all of you and the audio is clear, then I can proceed further for sure. Umang, can you please confirm?
Yeah, it's visible, Aditi.
Okay, thanks a lot. So let's proceed. If I'll just talk about myself, I'm a working professional and a corporate trainer, and basically I'm expert in the tools like SAP Analytics Cloud, Tableau, and Power BI, which is more into data analytics, visualizations, and the business analytics only. Then currently I'm working with Capgemini as a senior analyst. Let's proceed further. If we talk about that, what are the things we're gonna cover in the whole today's session? We're gonna discuss about the data analytics usability, the thing like why you need to learn it, what is the market scenario, capture and everything. Then what is the data analytics and the term business intelligence, which is also very highly demanded in the market, not only in Malaysia or India or in all over the world. Then the visuals, Tableau, and then we're going to discuss about the industry usability and the market scenario. Then we're going to do a little bit hands-on on these tools, the analytics tools, so that you will get a good picture regarding why we learn analytics and how we can make visualizations, reports, and dashboards. Then what are the future scopes and the real-time project lifecycle as well. At the end, we're going to interact and have a nice Q&A session. Let's proceed further. If we talk about data, so you can't able to tell me even any single industry name or e-commerce platforms or retailers, social media, everything nowadays revolves around data. If we talk about social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the influencers are heavily working on the data-driven technologies. Marketing professionals, sales professionals are heavily working on this data-driven technologies. What are these data-driven technologies means is like where we can analyze our data, where we can put our not only year or 1 year, 2 year, our 10 years of data in these tools, and we can analyze the overall performance of our organization. Not only this, we can also analyze our emails, photos, videos. So nowadays, data is not all about representation in a format of Excel or something. Data is all about representation in a format of image, videos, emails as well, and we can analyze all of them. If we proceed further, if you will see that it's a very famous quote by Daniel, and you cannot have information without data, but you can have the data without information, but you cannot have the information without data. It's a very famous quote and very meaningful as well, because without information or without proven proofs, you can't able to tell management that these are the decisions or these are the steps we need to take to generate revenues or profit for the organization. Any industry, you talk about any organization, if they are taking some good decisions for you, or if you think about your own college as well, they have a lot of student database. They also needs to analyze the whole database, and what they can do is they can analyze from which sector most of the students are interested, or in which sector most of the students are taking the admissions, so that they can give more attention to that particular sectors or regions or something like that. So in short, we can help, or we can take the help of data to have a very good and take a relevant decision for the organization, either it's technical, either it's revenue related, or all the decisions we can take with the help of data. And not only this, we have a proven facts that in the past we face these all sort of situations, so that in future we need to take these appropriate decisions. So proven facts with the help of data we can apply in the organizations. Not only this, if we talk about the data analytics and business analytics, these two terminologies we have in here. So data analytics is all about analyzing the data as per, the seasonal factors, or we can say the geographical factors. Let's say in winters, in summers, in seasonal factors, or we can say in Malaysia or in India or in Europe, France, how many sales and how many customers we have. So these are the analyzation of data we need to do, and which comes under the data analytics part. But when we talk about business analytics is also integrated with the data analytics itself, but it is also more inclined towards business strategies, business process, business scenarios, and so on. So in short, if you know that how to work on the tools and technologies, like we have Tableau, Power BI, so these are the tools which is very, heavily working by all the multiple MNCs in the organization. If you don't know how to work on these tools, may be very difficult for you to take a good decision and appropriate decisions for the industries. But if you know how to work on these tools, if you know, and if you have a good expertise in data analytics, then you can easily understand the business process, business scenario, and you can take a good relevant decisions for the organizations. If we talk about data visualization, of course, data analytics is completely, incomplete without visualizations. So as you can see, these are some of the visuals we have in here. We have the combination of line and bar chart. We have pie charts. We have multiple donut charts in here. So what does all these means? Like visualizations is very important, because if we have the data in proper Excel format and in table format, it's difficult to analyze that what is the overall sales we have from the particular region. But if we have the appropriate visuals, then it would be very great. And if we can represent the data in the visualization format, it's very easy to understand as well. So basically, if we talk about these Power BI tools or Tableau, we can make these sort of very attractive visualizations using these tools, and you don't need to have any knowledge regarding the coding or any programming expertise as well. So in short, without expertise on any technical things or programming language, we can easily make very attractive visualizations, reports on the tools, which we're going to discuss in our upcoming session. If we talk about Tableau, so in general, we are talking of analytics tools. If we talk about Tableau or Power BI, they are a very high-end business intelligence tools. And what is like business intelligence means? All of you can take a note of these important terminologies as well, because these are major terminologies we use mostly in the data analytics field. If you want to have a career in these field, so these are the terminologies you will always able to listen in each and every jobs and in real-time projects. So in business intelligence, we need to apply our intelligence in the business so that we can take good and relevant decisions for the organization. Totally depends on the data. Not only this, we can have the data on multiple data sources as well. Let's say if you have the data in data sources like Excel, we can easily get the data from Excel and we can make report and visualization on the top of it. Let's say if you have a data in any other data sources, like we have Oracle, we have SharePoint, OneDrive, Google Drive. So in these folders, maybe we can have data or not, but every data we can get into these analytics tools like Tableau and Power BI, and we can easily make good decisions and graphs, plots, charts, and you can see even without the need of any programming language. Okay. If we talk about like what are the industry usability and market scenario, why you need to learn these tools and what are the actual industry usability in the market. If you will see that actually like when you will work on, or if you will learn for some other open source platform, you will see that these are the data they're going to work on and they will convert into reports. But in real time, this is a very quite structured data. Structured as in we don't have any errors, we don't have any null values in here. It is a proper format of data which is in the Excel format. But if we talk about in real time projects, we need to most of the time deal with this sort of data as well, which is quite unstructured, which is having a lot of null values, errors, and you can see at the top we have the date columns, currency columns, and so on. So this is quite unstructured data. And in real time market, you need to deal with these both sort of data when it comes to the proper structured and unstructured. What is the industry demand as a data analyst? What is the expectations from you? The expectations from you will be, they will going to give you this sort of data in the Excel format or in any data source they are using like SQL or Oracle or something like that. Or the expectation will be you need to complete the data or you need to convert these data into these sort of reports and dashboards. It's very easy report, or we can say this is also one of the report I have in here, a very simple we can say, but good for initial understanding. So the expectation is we need to convert this data which is in the proper tabular format into this format of data. And as a good data analyst, as a good business analyst for any organization, if you will going to work for, this is the expectation, and you need to do or you need to make these sort of dashboards. You will see that we have a sales, we have average sales, category, product name, last update, and so on. So within a single screen, within a single dashboard, you all can analyze the data as per the dates, the data as per the tabular format. Even we can set the target as well, like 4 billion is the target in here, but we have achieved only 3.40 billion of sales. It's just the sample dashboard, but this is the expectations industries have. You will see that we have a sales amount by date, and we have the quite predictions as well in this particular visual. So these are, and understand one thing, we can do predictions because these tools are already machine learning and artificial intelligence enabled. You don't need to get the knowledge about the deep learning, the hardcore technical expertise as well. In these tools, these are very advanced. You can do predictions, forecasting based on the past data without even, the good programming knowledge. So these are the dashboards, is the expectations for sure you all need to make using these sort of simple data we have in here. Okay, what else we have? Like, let's say if we talk about the process of data analysis, it's a very high-end process we can say. We have basically 6 main steps to work on the data, basically 5 to 6. If we talk about data analysis, so first of all, we start with why you need the data analysis. If any industry wants to work on data-driven technologies or wants to work on their data, first of all, we need to understand the business process, why there is a need for analyzing the data. Second, if still there is a need, then we need to collect the data from the various data sources. Let's say they can have their data in Excel or any SQL server or Oracle AWS, and we have ample amount of data sources nowadays. So it's totally depend on the organization that from where they wants to get the data. Then we have, then first of all, if you have the data in any tool you are using, then you need to clean that data as well. Clean as in, let's say if you have a lot of null values, if your data is very unstructured, then the third step is to clean the data, transform the data. And if the data is having some unnecessary columns and unnecessary values as well, we need to delete them. And after deleting, we need to start analyzing the data by making the visualizations. And fifth is, then after making the visualizations, then we need to understand the visual, read the visuals, and make a good decisions for the organization. So this is the overall process you need to follow when you will going to work in the data analysis field. In short, first you need to understand why there is a need. Second, then if there is a need, you need to collect the data sources. Third, you need to then clean the data and transform the data. Fourth, then you need to analyze the data. Fifth, after analyzing, take the interpret and relevant decisions for the organization. If we proceed further, then after let's say you have learned these tools, you have now expertise on these tools, you know how to make reports and dashboards, but ultimately we want a good opportunity in the MNCs and in a good organization. So after learning these tools and technologies, what are the profiles waiting for you, or what are the profiles you can apply after learning these tools, or you can go further learning with our big course as well. So you will see these all are the profiles will be definitely open for you. Let's say you are the person who are interested in sports or marketing or sales. In each and every department nowadays we have the analyst profiles. You can be a data analyst, business data analyst, data analytics specialist, data visualization specialist, and so on. So if you want, you can take the screenshot of this slide, because this is the very important thing when you will going to learn these tools and when you will start making the reports and dashboards. After that, if we'll talk about the industries involved or industries which are using these data driven technologies heavily, so the industries can be the retail industry, food, telecom, oil, fashion, pharma, and these are only some of the industries. There are ample number of industries more in the market. And guys, this is gonna be the technology which is having a worldwide market and worldwide opportunities. You will not gonna stuck with a particular country or region, because data is something which is everywhere and which is used by each and every industry. Okay. And if we talk about like data visualization tools nowadays, what are the tools which is heavily working currently or working by the organization currently? So SAP Analytics Cloud is one of the tool, Tableau and Power BI. Of course, SQL is also will be there. SQL will gonna make you familiar with the data sources, as I hope that you all are a beginner and wants to learn from scratch. So definitely you can start with the Tableau and SQL, and this will definitely give you a quick start or a quick guide to be in this data analytics industry. Not only this, like after working on these tools, let's say if you want to work on Tableau, but if you want to work on Tableau, but before that you need to have some good data sets as well as per your interest. So Kaggle is the website from where you can download the data set for free as per your interest. So I will tell you practically in today's session as well, like how you can download the data set from Kaggle practically. If we proceed further, you will see that now these are the topics we're gonna cover, which is the practical hands-on on the tools, real-time dashboards. I will gonna show you the complete real-time dashboards, and then I will also make you familiar with the real-time project lifecycle. Okay, I think someone needs to mute. Okay. Fine. So you will see that we're going to discuss about the whole real-time project lifecycle. I think as I am a working professional, so I will give you a quick guide regarding the what is actually demanded in the market and what is the life cycle we need to follow when we are going to work on a real-time project. Okay, so let me just share my screen of the tools, how the tools look like and how you can start working on a tools from today and for free as well. Okay, so if we talk about Kaggle, so if you will just use this website kaggle.com. So this is the website. I can share this particular link in the chat box as well for all of you. So, okay, I don't think, yeah. So as you can see, yeah. So this is the kaggle.com, which is the very famous websites to download the datasets for free. And you will see that we have the Kaggle and we have the datasets in here and some codes, but you don't need to go to code and discussions. You can just click on this datasets, and in datasets, if you write any datasets like you are interested in, if we talk about the COVID data, so you will see that we have the COVID-19 dataset, the full dataset in here. You can simply click on this and you can start using these datasets for free. And you can also download the data set in the CSV and in Excel format for your future preferences, so that you can directly download or you can use in the tools and make some visualizations and practice the visuals. And if you are interested in, let's say, sales related data, so we have sales in here, sales data. So you will see that sample sales data and sales analysis report and pharma sales data and all. So in this particular website, you can get the data as per each and every industry, market scenario, and everything we have in here. Okay. Now, if we talk about tools, so you can start learning the tools from SQL. So this is the SQLiteonline.com, where you can directly import the data set and you can start working on it. Okay. Not only this, if I want to import the data set, we have multiple options, like we have file. You can import the whole database, or you can import the particular Excel file if you want to import. Okay. So like if I want to click on open, you will see it will automatically fetch all the Excel files we have in here or the CSV file, and then you can simply click on OK. If I'll just close it. So this is the sample file already we have imported in this SQLite. SQL will gonna make you familiar with how the data is stored in a databases. But what if you need to make good visualizations and reports? For that, Tableau and Power BI will gonna helpful for you. So how you can start work with Tableau for free? For that, you need to open Tableau official website. So you can just click on Tableau Public, and you can click on this Tableau Public free data visualization software. So for Tableau as well, we have both the versions. We have free version as well as paid. But I suggest you, for starting, for to learn from scratch, you can proceed with the free version we have in here. So what you need to do is you need to use this URL. If you want, you can take the snapshot of it. Public.tableau.com. This is the URL from where you can download this Tableau software. And then what you need to do is you need to write your email address, any email, Gmail ID, or if you have some Yahoo or Outlook IDs, you can use that as well. Just use these email IDs and click on download the app. Automatically the app will start downloading in your respective systems. Okay, so you will see that your download should be start automatically, and at the bottom you will see, right, we have this downloading start for the Tableau Public, and it is of 441 MB software. Okay, as of now I am pausing it because I have already installed it, but what I suggest to all of you in here is install it today only, and you can start doing some hands-on on this tool for sure. Okay, later on you can also sign in this particular we can say Tableau Public. So you can just write your email ID, you can set your own password. First of all, you need to sign up and then sign in. So we have this. And after signing in, you can also see all your dashboards and reports. Let me just pause it. Yeah. You can also see download, or we can say your reports online as well. So if I'll go to, like, this is my profile I have created in Tableau Public. You can go to your profile. In future, if you're going to make the reports like this, you can also share it with you all. And you will see, like, this is the very simple sales analysis report. And why industries are heavily working on these tools? Because the dashboard and this report is fully interactive. If I will just select furniture in here, rather than this, I want to select only furniture. So you will see only furniture related sales, quantity, discount, you will see. As of now, for the furniture, we have approximately a 2 lakh something sales. If I'll click on office supplies as well, you will see that 48 lakh and 21,000 sales we have for the furniture and office supplies. If you want to see only for technology, you need to select technology in here and deselect these both, furniture and office supplies. So this is just the sample dashboard so that you can make up your mind, like, this is the requirement and these sort of learning you need to do in the future on these tools. This is the requirement if I have the subcategories in here, so you can select some of the subcategories as well. This is the requirement where everything is fully automated and fully interactive. If I'll click on this, you will see the data related to this bar itself. And this is something, and this is the box, which is, you know, in analytics terminology, it is called as tooltip. Okay. So this is something which is we have made on Tableau, and of course you can also start working on Tableau from today itself and completely for free. Okay, so this is one of the software. SQL will help you to, of course, understand, will make you more understand regarding, we can say, the terminologies and how the data is stored in databases. Then we have one more tool which is also very famous, Power BI, and which is by the Microsoft itself. By the Microsoft, that's why it is having a trust as well. And as of now, as you all know, most of the organizations are, we can say, loading their data or collecting their data in Excel. And Excel is also the tool by the Microsoft itself. But now the Power BI comes into picture, and it is also the tool of Microsoft. And why industries are moving to Power BI? Because it's very easy to make reports in the Power BI. Fine. So you will see that this is the interface of Power BI we have in here. And in this interface, we have multiple things and multiple visualizations to work on. If you will see that we have the get data option, and all these options you will get in other BI tools as well, like we have Tableau, SAP Analytics Cloud. Guys, understand one thing, you know, process will be same, data will be same, organizations and business processes also will be same, but the interface of the tools will be different. If you will work on Tableau, the interface of the Tableau and working on it will be different. If you work on Power BI, the, we can say, the visualizations and working interface will be different, but at the end of the day, the logic is same and the motive is same to analyze the data, of course. So you will see that if you will click on more, we can have the data from multiple data sources in here. Let's say we have Excel, CSV, XML, JSN and all. Okay, if I'll click on Excel workbook and click on connect, automatically I can connect all my Excel data with this Power BI. So if I will just take, okay, I will just open one file for you all, which is this global store. This is just the sample Excel file I have to make you guys more familiar with regarding the real-time concepts with the data analytics. If we talk about orders, people's, written, so this is the data. Let me open this data in the Excel as well. Okay, so we have Power BI, and this is the data we are going to work on, which is the global store. So in this data, you will see that as of now, we have three different tables: orders, returns, and people. And in orders, we have multiple IDs. Let's say 6147 is the ID in here. And total number of rows is 5121291. So these all are the data we have in here. It's a quite large data set, and it's good to practice on a top of good amount of data sets, because it will give us a good results in the visualization, and it will, look more attractive as well comparatively. So we have row ID, order date, ship date in this data. Then we have ship mode, customer ID, customer name. Then we have segment, city, state, country, and at the end we have multiple measures, or we can say the numeric data as well, which is sales, quantity, discount, profit, and so on. So these are the numeric data. Make a note of it. In the data analytics industry, they are called as measures. Okay, measures as in like all the data which is having a numerical values called as measures, and these all are the data which is called as the dimensions we have in here. Dimensions as in like they all are having the numeric, or we can say as of now string data, like customer name, segment, and so on. And in the same data we have order date and ship date as well. The same data I'm going to load in the Power BI so that I'm going to make the reports on a top of it. You will see that we have the three different tables. We'll just select these tables. You will see that this is the short preview of the data, where you will see all the column names at the top. Why we have a short preview? Just to see if we have loaded the data correctly or not in whatever the tool you are using for your data analysis and the report purpose. Okay, so we have orders, people, and returns. You will see that these all are the data we have in here. We can simply click on load. We can click on transform data as well, just to see that if you need to transform anything. Let's say in people table, we have these three columns having the null values. So what we can do is we can delete these columns. And if you want to delete the columns, you can click on transform data. Or if you don't want to delete, you can simply click and load, and automatically all the data will be loaded in the tool and you can start making the reports. If I will click on transform data, I'm just giving you the short overview regarding the tools, how we work on tool, how to analyze the data on tool, so that of course for a future perspective the mindset will be cleared. And of course this mindset is also being cleared, like you don't need to have any coding required to make tools or to clean the data or other things. And not the, we can say, libraries knowledge as well, if we talk about the R libraries and so on. So if you talk about this data, we have these two columns having the null values. So what I will do is I will right click and remove these columns. That's how. Now the data is perfect without null values, and this is, we are in the returns table. We can go to the people table as well, and in people's table we have three columns having the null values. I will just remove these columns by right clicking. Okay, because ultimately no point to analyze the data which is having a null values, correct? I want to analyze the data which is appropriate in here. And now in orders, let's say if we having any the null values or not. No, here in this table we don't have null values, everything is perfect. Now what we can do is we can simply go to transform, and in this particular tool we have all this date and time intelligence functions, all the features we have in Excel, we have all of them in these tools, and it's very easy to work on. If I'll simply click on close and apply, automatically the changes will apply in the screen of the Power BI. And you will see the data is loading now, which is orders, peoples, and returns. Now what I will do is, in this data we have three different tables, orders. Let's start, or let's see how we can make the visualizations in the Power BI. Fine. So to make the visualizations, we just need to pick one visual. Let's say if I want to make stacked bar chart. So this is how we can make the visual. And what if I want to analyze category with the sales? So we have sales in here. So that's how we can analyze, okay, these are the categories: technology, furniture and office supplies, and this is the sales we have in here comparatively. Okay, now this is the very simple visualizations. We can create more visuals as well. You can click on the page 2, and here we can make area chart, let's say. So how we can create an area chart? We need to first of all take appropriate we can say fields in here. I want to analyze as per the market what is the profit I'm getting. So as you can see, we have different markets in here: APAC, EU, US, Latin, Africa and Canada, and EMEA as well. So these are the market, and with respect to market, these are the sales we have in here. Not only this, in Power BI as well, we can see the data whatever we have loaded. So as you can see, we have data in here. If you will see in Power BI or in any tool in which you are going to work, we have majorly 3 different sections. First, from where we can make the reports. Second, where we can see the data whatever we have loaded. Third, where we can see the tables whatever we are loaded. So as of now, we have loaded 3 different tables: orders, people and returns. So these are the 3 important sections you all need to work as a data analyst. Very important to understand first of all the data and then start making the visualizations like this. You will see that we have multiple orders, ship date and so on. And we have these columns, all these columns like sales, quantity, discount, profit and so on. Now you will see that we have this profit and we have profit by market. This is the visual we have in here. Not only this, you need to understand like what is this access section, legend and values. Automatically market comes in this access section. Why is it so? Because market is a column having the, we can say, string data. String as in like we have Africa, alphanumeric data, APAC, EU and so on. In values, we always have the data which is having a numerical or integer format data. Let's say if I'll go to this data, we have discount, profit, shipping cost. They all are having a numeric data, correct? Like 24.16, 19.73. That's why they need to come in this values section. But when we talk about market, if I'll go to market in this data set, you will see that we have this all sort of markets: Africa, APAC, Canada, EMEA and so on. You can also check like what are the markets we have in here. Not only this, you will see that these are the markets having the string data like EU, Africa and so on. That's why they all are in this axis section. So there is also a reason behind it. Okay. Now we have market and profit. We can also subcategorize the data. Let's say, let's drag and drop this category in this legend section. So now what we have in here, are you able to understand this point? We have market, that is okay. But we have 3 different categories now, which is furniture, office supplies and technology. Now for each and every market, we have the profit for all these categories, which is of furniture, office supplies and technology. So this is the importance of using the legend. If you want to further categorize the data, let's say this is the requirement from the client end. I want to see the profit as far as the different markets are concerned. But in a same way, I want to see the profit as far as the different, we can say, the categories. So we can just drag and drop categories in this legend section. And always legend section is helpful to further categorize the data. I hope it's clear as of now. I will just make one more visual and I will just ask if you have any doubts so far. So let's make this donut chart. Okay, so we have this donut chart in here. And in this donut chart, I want to analyze as far as the quantities are concerned. So quantities is having a numeric data. We can just drag and drop quantities in this values section. And we can take like cities or countries. So cities in the legend section. So we have many cities. So it's not appropriate to take cities. So let's say countries. So these are the different countries we have in here. United States, we have France, Australia, Mexico, Germany, and so on. So these all are the quantities sold as per the different, we can say, states or countries we have in here. Okay, so that's how we can make a visualizations in the business intelligence tools. And these are just the basic stuff for sure, and many more things to learn further. As of now, I just wanna see if anyone have any questions so far. You guys can raise hand or unmute yourself, or if it's clear so far as well, you can let me know. Okay, so Ken, everything is good so far from your end? Okay, great, fine. I can see some thumbs up sign in here. Fine. So let me make some more visualizations. Let's say, let's go to page 3. And in page 3, that we have one more visualization which is very important, which is this table visual. Okay, now in the table visualizations, we can show that whatever is needed to show in the dashboards. Let's say if we have the market, and in the market we can take, let's say, sales. So that's how we can see the data in tabular format, but it's very small, correct? So we can go to this format option and we can increase the size of this tabular format or of these values. So I will just increase from text 10 pixels to 20. So now it's more visible, correct? Let's say if I want to take countries as well, so I will just select this visual and I will take countries. So now we have the data like Africa. This is the market and these all are the countries we have related to the Africa. If I'll go to APAC, so these are the countries related to the APAC, Japan, Malaysia, Pakistan, and so on, Philippines. And then we have EMEA, and we can just make abroad. So not only this, guys, this is the table which is having all the features which is the normal tables are having, like market, country, sales, and so on. Not only this, we have the slicer option in the Power BI or any BI tool you are using. We have some options to filter the data as well. Let's say I just want to see the data related to the Africa and APAC and EMEA only. I don't want to see the data in this table which is related to EU, LATAM, and US. Okay. In that case, what we need to do? In that case, we just need to drag and drop market in this option, and we can format it as well because the item size are very small. I will just increase the size, let's say 15. Okay, and I will just select Africa, APAC, and EMEA. So that's how we have the data related to this only. And now you will see in this whole data, we don't have the data related to Canada, EU, LATAM, and US. So if you want to filter any kind of data, we can very easily. Now, if I want to change this visualization, this is the table visual, correct? I can directly change this visual into the bar chart by pressing the bar chart in here. So let's do one thing. Let's duplicate this page. So this is the duplicate of page 4. I'm selecting this visual in here and click on this stacked bar chart. So now this is the data which is directly converted into the stacked bar chart. And here you will see that in the y-axis, we have only 3 markets, APEC, EMEA and Africa. If I will select Canada as well, you will see now we have one more, Canada. If I will select EU as well, you will see that now we have one more EU. US, now we have US as well, LATAM and LATAM. So that's how we can apply some filters in the visual, and it's totally depend on the requirements of the client and the project you are working on. Okay, so these are some of the visualizations I want to discuss with all of you. Not only this, like we have ample amount of countries in here. What if I want to see only few countries? We can take the slicer, let's say like this, and we can take okay, so we can take a country in the slicer and we can categorize the data, go to format, go to items and increase the size like 20. So now I want to see the data related. So now we have Afghanistan, let's say Australia, and we have Brazil. So these are the data we have in here. What if I want to see both Brazil and Afghanistan? You need to click on Control button and you can multi-select the countries like this. It's totally depend what are the data you want to filter in the visual. So that's why it's very high-end technology and all the industries are working on it. Just because we can see within a single screen, and it is also beneficial for the people who don't have the technical background, and it is also helpful for easily understandable and having a very easy user interface as well. If I'll go to page 5, let's make some more visualization, guys. Not only this, we can make some map visuals as well. If I want to see the country, different countries as per the sales. So I will just take in location country, and in legend or in latitude I need to take sales, or in a tooltip we can take sales. So just drag and drop sales in the visualization. Now you will see that we have each and every, let's go to different map format. So in Australia, this is the sales we are getting. In Russia, you will see in United States, Mexico and Brazil, so on. So this is the kind of very simple map visualizations also we can make in the, we can say in these tools, in these advanced tools for sure. So these are the high-end concepts you all need and learn for sure. Not only this, what are the more, we can say, dashboards. So I want to show some real-time dashboards with you. Like why, why there is a need to learn it, and why we need to make the reports for the organization. So this is kind of a very simple dashboard that I have made for one of my project. I'm just show you all to make you guys familiar with like this is the industry, analytics industry. It is gonna be a very big industry for sure in future, and this is how we need to make some reports and dashboards for our organizations so that they can see the appropriate data like this. And it is also having a very good flexibility to export the same reports, same visuals in a PowerPoint, PDF and other formats. Not only this, we can also share it through the mails if you want to. You can directly share these dashboards if you are working within Teams. You can directly share it within the Teams as well. So these are all the flexibility we have in here. Now what else? What else? Let's say if I want to work on any tool. So you need to first of all know about that what is the real-time project life cycle and how you're gonna start working on this. So first of all, if I will just open a notepad for all of you. So let me just give you the overall scenario. Okay, so this is gonna be the overall real time project life cycle. Okay, because let's say if you have downloaded the tool, if you have understood each and everything, but what if you need to work on real time? So how you're gonna prepare yourself for that from today? So let me just open Word and will explain very in-depth manner and also in a very better way. So if I'll just increase the size. So this is going to be an overall project life cycle. First point is to gather the requirements from the clients. So we need the requirements. And let's say after gathering the requirements, what else you can do? After gathering the requirements, you need to understand the whole business process. And after understanding the business process, you need to start working on the tools and give them the proper ideas how they can make the reports as well. So understand the business process. And not only this, if you will learn these tools now like Tableau, Power BI, SQL, all these things of course comes with practice when you will slowly and gradually work on the real-time projects. So after gathering the requirements, we need to understand the whole business process. After understanding the business process, we need to start taking or gathering the data. So we need to first of all understand the business process, understand their data structure. Most of the organizations have the data in a separate formats, like something in Excel, something in SQL, or so on. So that's how you need to understand the data structure. Then you need to plan how to make or how to proceed with the reports. So plan the reports, make dashboards in tools and in BI technologies. And after that, what you need to do is you need to present that the same report or dashboard towards or in front of the client. So let's say we can simply write present your work, and then later on it's your responsibility to maintain or to support as well if they want any changes in a more further way, or to do the changes in any reports or dashboards. So these are the 7 steps most probably we need to take care about when we're gonna work on the real-time projects. If we talk about this dashboard as well, okay, for this dashboard, we understand the data structure, their business process, then how they wants to make the report. You need to analyze like what are the radio buttons you need to use, how many visualizations, which visuals, what is the heading, what are the date formats and everything. We need to decide it. We need to plan it first, because later on change everything on the report will be definitely very difficult when you will going to work as a data analyst, and it's your responsibility to make reports on a top of data. So first of all, check the data, and then simply we can start working on reports and then present the same in front of management. And what if they have some requirements? Let's say you are presenting this dashboard to me and I'm telling you that rather than this bar chart, I want pie chart. In that case, what you will do? In that case, you can edit this report like this. Select this visual, click on the pie chart. Automatically, it's converted into the pie chart. Correct. So these are sometimes formatting we need to do on the go as well by presenting the dashboards in front of management. Not only this, it is gonna be the future for sure, because everything is a online based, cloud based, and the browser based. Let's say we have sales analytics in here. In sales analytics, if I will copy this, we can say, if I will copy this URL and share it with you, you can open the same report from your end. That's the flexibility we have nowadays, because data is something which is huge. And if we can say, it's totally depend on how old the organization is. If they are having 15 to 16 years of data, the dashboard and everything will be huge for sure. And then in that case, simply you can share the link with the management within the team members, and of course, they can see that dash. Overall, it gives us the very good flexibility to work within a team, and very good flexibility to share the dashboards online as well. Not even online, we can also share it with or via mails as well, very easily. So let me just save it. And after saving it, we can do multiple things, like we can generate a QR code of this report as well. If I will share this QR code with you, you can directly scan it and the report will open from your end. That's how easy and beneficial it is and advanced it is. And not only this, we can design the same reports using the BI tools like Tableau, Power BI in this mobile layouts as well. Okay, so everything is gonna be in depth and from scratch for sure. And I hope I make you guys familiar with how to start at least learning for free and how to start downloading these tools as well. If you want to know how to start working on this Power BI as well, so let me show you how you can download this tool. First of all, you can use any of the browser. You can write Power BI desktop download. You can click on this first URL. And after this URL, you will see that we have multiple tools by the Microsoft for the reporting and for the Power BI itself. But what you need to do is you need to just click on Power BI desktop. I hope the meeting is recording. You can prefer it later on, all these steps. And then you just need to click on see download or language option. Let's say if you want to download the Power BI in your language, let's say I want to download the data set or download this Power BI in German, France, we can do in any language. Load this Power BI in any language. It's completely honest. As of now, English is most preferable. And you can just see these details and the system requirements as well. It's very important to see the system requirements because for Mac, as of now, Power BI is not available. But of course, you can always uh, have the virtual OS like the Windows OS, and you can see and you can use the Power BI in Mac as well. But for Tableau, it is completely available for all the versions of the OS, or we can say with the Mac or Android. Okay, so it's restrictions with the Power BI only because it's a Microsoft tool, so that's why it is more compatible with the Windows OS. Now, if we talk about system requirements, so these are some of the system requirements and these are the installation instructions. You need to read all of them, and you will see that there is a short introduction as well, like why Power BI you need to learn and what are the things we can do, like we can get the data, we can create the relationships, we can create the reports, we can save the reports, and we can publish as well. Publish is always a very important option because if you want to share your reports, they don't need to download the softwares from their end, correct? They just need to see the report by using a simple URL or on the cloud. This is the technology we have nowadays, and we are heavily working on it. And as a data analyst, you need to also work on it. And for the, of course, industries and the organizations you're going to work for, then we can simply click on download. And after clicking on download, you will see Power BI is available for two different versions, 64-bit and 32. So as per your system configuration, you can check mark and click on next. That's it. Okay. After clicking on next, automatically Power BI downloading will start and you can easily able to download it. As you'll see, automatically it start. I will just pause it as of now. Yeah. So after downloading the Power BI and Tableau, the interface will look like this for the Tableau, and interface will look like this for the Power BI. And for SQL, you don't need to install anything as of now because we have the online tool available to practice SQL already, which is the SQLite online.com. And for sure guys, throughout the training you don't need to pay any licensing cost. I am going to help you with how to start work on the tool tools, how to start, work on the tools just for the learning purpose without, we can say, any extra licensing cost. Okay, I hope it's clear. And these are the some real-time dashboard. This is just the simple sales analytics. If I will show you HR analytics dashboard, so this is the simple in the HR analytics dashboard we have. So this is the department. If I will just select human resource. So this is the data, which is the human resource wise, research and sales and so on. You will see that we have the sales data. Okay, so that's the very important point to discuss. And the data is fully interactive as well. If I click on this box, so you will see that we are having, the we can say the highlighted version of this visuals, where in this particular report we can easily download the reports and everything as well. Let's say this is the Tableau public platform, which is public available or open source available for all the learners. That's why we can download each and everything from this platform. Okay, so this is also one of the important point. And you will see that this is the dashboard we have in here, which is of Tableau public, and this is the dashboard which I have made for the COVID analysis. So you will see that this is the worldwide COVID analysis data. If I will click on this bar or click on this bar, you will see automatically I'm switching over to India state-wise COVID data. What I have done is I'm switching over from one dashboard to another. As of now, I'm here in worldwide COVID data analysis. I'm just clicking on this bar and all together I am redirecting to the different dashboard, which is India state-wise data. If I will click on this bar, I'm altogether redirecting again to this India district-wise data. So that is also option we have to interact within the different reports as well. If I want to switch from marketing to the sales report, we can do it very easily through these tools we have in here. I hope it's clear, and it will be of course beneficial to make all the visuals within a single platform. Either if you want to explore the map visuals, or if you want to apply some filters like this. I want to have only these countries as of now. So we have the data regarding to these countries only, as you will see in this visual. And I have used one zoom button as well, so that I can zoom the visual like this. So that is one more thing, we can customize the visual and zoom as well. So I'm just going to the home screen. Click on all. Now we have the data as per all the states and regions. Fine. Not only this, guys, we have multiple things available. First of all, whatever the reports, or as a data analyst, you need to make sure, it is a responsibility of yours, you need to make sure that the report will be responsive, fully responsive. So what does responsive means? Let me show you practically. So responsive examples. So you will see, if I'll go to images, responsive means your report must be flexible with all kinds of devices. Either if I'm watching the report, or if I'm watching the visualizations on the laptop, or on the phones, or on the tablets. It should be responsive, because client can see their reports on any device. That is the flexibility we need to have. So that's the responsibility of ours as a data analyst, that our reports will be fully responsive, and look wise also very beautiful and attractive. As a data analyst, always make sure don't use a very complicated visuals in the reports. Okay, and as you can see, this is the fixed screen size we have in here, and if I have this visual, I can just simply copy paste the visual. Okay, so that's how we can copy paste the visual as well, like this. If I want to convert this visual into this, and I want to convert this visual into bar chart. Okay, so I will just take category and profit. Okay, I want to convert this visual into this line chart. So always make sure don't use multiple visualization in a single report. Always use approximately 6 to 7 number of visuals so that you can customize it later on if you have any requirement from the client end. That's what. And the process will definitely same with all the BI tools and all the technologies we have in here. You just need to understand and make yourself familiar and confident on the tools. Then you can easily able to give the solutions and appropriate solutions to the client for sure. So now we have these orders table. If you want to work on the people and turns, we can do that as well. But for that, if you always make sure if you are working on multiple tables, then you need to join these tables as well. And for joining the tables, we have different options in the different BI tools. Let's say in Power BI, we have this option for joining the tables. In Tableau, we have different options for joining the tables, what we can do in the Tableau Public as well. Okay, so what else I have for you all is let me just go to my browser, and this is the public version. If I'll go back here, you will see that I have multiple reports and dashboards. And what if, like, you know, if the data changed, I have made this report, but now the data is changed in my source file, and now the Excel, initially the Excel is having 10,000 rows, but now I have 20,000 rows. How will I going to update this dashboard? Or if I need to make this dashboard or a new dashboard altogether from scratch? The thing is, no, we can able to easily customize these dashboards from scratch and automate and schedule this dashboard as well. Let's say if I'm having the data from SQL Server, then I can easily schedule the data, as in like every morning I need to get the updated data in the dashboard. So we can schedule as well. So in short, if the data is changing, you don't need to make reports again. Automatically we can connect the report with the dashboards and we can have the data, updated data in the reports. Fine. So this is also one of the very important thing. And we can also go to the settings. We can save a copy, and in the online, we have multiple things. In online itself, what else we can do? If I'll click on share, I will just write your mail ID, like we can say umang@elitetechnologies.com. If I will just write this mail ID in here, I will just simply click on send. As of now, it is not the valid mail ID, so it is not reflecting. If let's say edu@active24.com, it's my mail ID, we can simply click on send. That's how we can easily share our reports with some other management and other team members as well. And from their end, they don't need to download any software. So this is also one of the important thing. And if we talk about industry, talk about practical implementation, every industries and every market nowadays are heavily working on technologies. If we talk about market, then altogether Power BI, Tableau, if you know, Tableau is recently acquired by the Salesforce SQL. So these are the three main tools which is heavily used by in over the world and in all over the market when it comes to data driven technologies. Okay, so for sure, if you want to be in this industry, in this data analytics industry, you need to have the command on these tools, and after having in command, you are eligible to apply in any of the organizations in the roles, in the profiles that I have shared with you. So let me show that profiles again. So yeah, so this. So these definitely will be open for you all, which is regarding the data analyst, business data analyst. As a data visualization specialist, what you need to do is you need to tell your team that this is the visual which is appropriate for this condition, and we can make this visual like either it's table or it's pie chart, donut chart, and so on. Fine. So these are the things we have in here. Now we had a good discussion regarding the practical hands-on on tool, and I have showed you the real-time dashboards as well. And then the real-time project life cycle, like these are the real-time steps we need to take in any of the analysis projects you are going to work. Okay. Now I'm just open for some questions from your end as well. Like any questions from your end, anything that you want to discuss, and anything you want me to repeat again. We have still 10 minutes left. So any questions, guys, from your end? You can unmute yourself, or I'm open for any kind of questions related to the session. Okay. Ben, if you want, you can unmute.
Yeah.
Or let's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, there's no questions from the chat. I assume that everybody has. Maybe you could introduce again on the how to acquire the technology once more. I'm sure everybody has already seen how it can be utilized, but utilization requires practice. But acquiring the technology itself, that one would be something that everybody will try to get their hands on right now. Maybe you could also try to post the links, the 3 particular links for the Power BI, the Tableau, and also the Kaggle.com and into the chat, and I think everybody can try to explore on their own as well if they manage to miss it.
Yeah, yeah. So if I have the chat access in here, so that I can chat or I can share the links, appropriate links with the students, so that they can do hands-on later on.
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay, that's great.
I think the chat access might not be available.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
okay, that's the
neither for me nor for
you can send
Aditi,
on WhatsApp, then we will post it.
Yes, we can post it through the chat.
Okay, because I can't see from my end the chat option. So I think, is there any privacy?
Or Aditi, you can do one thing. You could send it to me. I will share with the team, and they could post it.
Yeah, definitely. So I will share for the students, I will gonna share all the important links which is related to the how to download Tableau Public and how to download the data sets and how to download the Power BI as well, so that they can start doing hands-on from today. And at least they can start making these visualizations, which is in the page 1, page 2, and so on. And all these visualizations is quite important to be in the analyst field. But not only this, you can explore more visualizations as well. Let's say word cloud. So always remember that don't stuck with the BI tool or the minimum visualizations. Like we have this visual as well, which is word cloud. So this is also one of the visualization which is heavily usable by the industries. So make sure that try to make these sort of visuals, and if you want to see that in tools how we can make these visuals, in that case by default we don't have the option to make the advanced visuals in the technologies or in the tools we have, but we can also use some custom visualization. So if you will just click on these 3 dots, we have one option which is the get more visuals. If I will click on this, you will see we have multiple options to get the customized visualizations within the Power BI itself. If I will just select word cloud, you will see that we have word cloud in here. I will click on get it now, and I will just click on OK. We can click on word cloud, and I will make a good visualization like this. You will see in the screen the same visualizations we can make on the top of our data set which we are working on. So these are the countries, different countries we have in here. So that's how in some times, in some scenarios, we need to use the custom visuals as well. And of course, there are many more things to learn for sure, but at least to start from scratch and to start from beginning, these things will be enough for all of you for sure. So still we have some time left. I'm sure, I'm open for doubts and queries. I will just stop sharing.
I have received a question from Wang Hao, but it's not actually not really a question, but it's more like a statement that he stated, as I quote, "I'm more interesting to know how can I get the data I wanted from database."
Yes, yes, yes. So
Just that.
you want,
Oh no, that's it.
okay, okay, yeah. So you want me to show that how to get the data from database, is it?
I think yes, he would like to know more about that.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's great. So if you will go to any tool, like if I'll talk about the Power BI, if we have the data from Excel, simply we can click on Excel workbook and we can get the data from here. But what if you have the data in the databases like SQL, you can click on more, and then what we can do is we can select a SQL. So we can have the SQL in here. Okay, then you can simply click on SQL Server database or MySQL database, whatever the database you are using. And after that, click on MySQL and click on Connect. And after that, if you are working in real time or in your organization, they have their own server names and the database credentials. So from where you will get the SQL Server name, I have the SQL installed as well in my system. So if we talk about SQL Server Management Studio, I'm just telling you that how we can connect the data from SQL and the procedure. The rest procedure for all the data sources is quite same. But what you need to have is to have these appropriate system credentials, like what is the ID and password. So you will see that in this SQL server, I have the server name in here. So the same name you need to copy and you need to paste in our Power BI. So what else we can do is we can click on properties, and for each and every a database we have the same thing most probably, but interface is different. We just need to take the server name, and if you have the appropriate IDs, so we can take the ID as well. We can use the same server name in the Power BI, and if it's optional, and you can either import the data or the direct query. In direct query, the data will remain in the SQL, but you can make report in Power BI. In import, we have data in Power BI, also we can make report in Power BI. In direct query, we most of the time when we have a large data set, or if you want to be the data set in the cloud itself. So of course, it's totally depend on the requirements, and then you can click on import and click on OK. After clicking on OK, you will see automatically the data, or we can say the connection will happen between the SQL Server and the Power BI, and you will see that all the data sets which we have in here, we can see all the databases in Power BI, and then you can start making the reports on the top of it. As of now, my Power BI is connected with my company server, so we'll not connect that, but it is the procedure is same for all. Not only this, I want to share one more thing in here, which is enter data. What if like you don't want to get the data from any data source or not in Excel as well? We can enter the data manually in Power BI as well. Let's say if I will just write country, or I will just use the Indian state's name, and I will just double click and click on sales. So in states, we can have or we have, okay, they are just the random name, random data I am manually importing. We have, and then in the sales, we can just write the random data. Okay, I just see, okay, so I will just give it a name, which is the sample data. If you will click on load, the same data will be loaded in the Power BI, and we can make visuals on it. Let's say if you will go to this data section, we have initially 3 tables, correct? Orders, people, and return. Now we have one more table, which is the sample data. Okay, And in sample data, we have two columns that I have made, sales and states. Now, if I want to make report on a top of it, let's say if I'll make some visual, and in the sample data, I have sales and I have states. So that's how right now I have entered the data and make visual on it. So this is just a simple example to enter the data, or to enter the data manually if you don't want to have the data in SQL. And of course, like as a beginner or as starting learning from scratch, you can enter the data like this. And after entering the data, you can make your own visuals. And you can copy paste the data from Excel in the enter data format. So this is also one of the best thing, so that you don't need to fetch the data sources. And of course, like after you feel comfortable with these BI tools and visualizations, then I of course guide you to start with some good data set and the real-time data sets as well, which you can easily download from this Kaggle website. So we have Kaggle in here, and like I'm the person who are very interested to analyze the Instagram and social media kind of related data. So maybe you have your own interest. So download and make reports and visualizations on it. And of course, try to share it with your team members, or we can say our colleagues or friends, so that you can learn and grow together. Okay, so anything else? I think it's done from my end. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Okay, otherwise you will get all the important and appropriate link via Umang. Umang, I will going to share it with you.
Perfect, Aditi. Sure.
Yeah.
Miss Aditi, although the time is technically up ready for the session, I have received two more questions from the participants regarding on the first one will be whether a company can actually buy a set of data from another company for their marketing benefits. That's the first one. And the second one is focusing mostly on Python data frames and visualization, being able to be supported by the Tableau datasets.
Okay. So the first question is like, company of course can take the database for other organizations, of course, for the marketing purpose. But most of the time, data is something which is a key asset of the organization. There are many assets, of course, but data is called the gold and the key asset for any organization. And most probably, in most of the organizations, they are not open to share their data sets for sure. That is a mandatory thing, because data is something which can leak their private informations as well. So depends on the organization, but yeah, for sure, like we can't able to get the data for the marketing purposes. And what was the second question?
The second question is focusing on Python data frames and visualization being able to be supported under the Tableau datasets.
Yes, yes. Python visualizations are supported under the Tableau, and not only under the Tableau, under the Power BI and all the BI tools, most probably, which are updated. So you will see that we have two icons in here, which is R and Python. So that is the icons we have because we can integrate Python visualizations with the tools. So yeah, we can do. Anything else?
No, that's all from the participants.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much to Ms. Aditi and also Mr. Mang regarding today's session about data analytics. As previously stated at the start of this session, I will require everyone to turn on the cameras, mostly for the UCSI students themselves, because of the need to take a group photo. So with that said, it would be great if you can turn on your cameras now.
Just wanted to check on one thing. So, should I walk everyone through the programs we have on data analytics and machine learning, or students are aware? What do you suggest?
It could be done right now if you would like to, Mr. Umang.
Okay, cool. So I will just take 3-4 minutes. I will walk them through the programs we have, and yeah, then I think the attendance could go through.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, perfect. So I'm sharing my screen here. Just give me a moment.
Still being loaded. Okay, yes.
Perfect. So last time I had shown students through the vehicle dynamics and engineering design programs. This time the idea is I will giving a quick walkthrough on some of the key programs. So data analytics, the first program which we have, okay, which is also taken by Aditi. So this is a program where you can get all the details which are required to get skilled with SQL and Tableau. Okay, so the program is here up. It's right now only for Indian students. However, if students are interested, we could manage or open it up for international students as well. And the details are mentioned in the attendance form. If students select that, we will open it up for everyone. Since Diwali is going on, like in India, it's one of the biggest festival is coming up. So we are offering a 50% discount on all our programs as well, which applies to MLAI programs also. So the first program you saw on data analytics, which is essential, for any machine learning or deep learning programs student take up. Okay, data analytics is something very essential. And then we have a complete pathway. When I say complete pathway, the idea is to be a machine learning engineer, which people are inclining a lot towards. We have from starting from data analytics, Python, SQL, statistics, and then machine learning algorithms, all in our machine learning master program. Okay. Uh, Over here, the details are also mentioned on all the experts. So we have other experts along with Aditi who has created this program. And all the projects are mentioned here, which students can work on as a part of this program. Now, for students, we have 100% money guarantee back always for all our programs. And all the details which would be covered are mentioned here. And again, since the 50% I told you about for the festival going on, so this complete program, which could be a 6 months to 8 months program, could be available for around 200 to 50 or $270, I guess, for the students. So anyone who's interested, we could just fill in the form. We would reach out to you guys. We will help you understand a bit more details if you need, and we will also be in touch with IMEC team for all the other events, be it free or be it any other thing comes up to be shared with the team here or the students here. So if someone has any question on the program and all those aspects, they could ask me about it. We have a learning portal which would have the content they would be, learning from, and we have regular live sessions from experts like Aditi herself on once you are taking the program, so that you guys are updated and anywhere you are stuck, the problem gets resolved pretty soon. I think this was a quick snapshot I wanted everyone to have a look at. And if anything, we are always reaching. So thank you. That's all from my side.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mang, regarding that part. So you can access it. Okay, so once again, to everyone within this particular call itself, you're free to turn on your cameras again for some of those who have turned it off just now. For those who do not want to turn on, it's okay. I'll give another 30 seconds and I'll take the first screenshot. Starting at 7:39 sharp. For UCSI students, it is compulsory. Good. Okay. First picture. Look at the camera and smile. Take it. Okay. Once more. You're free to do freestyle, but try not to show any provocative imagery, like some of the events that I've conducted previously it happened before. So once again, free to do thumbs up, big smiles, anything up to you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Done. So wait, that's it. We are officially completed with our second session regarding the data analytics. Once again, a big thank you to Ms. IDT and also to Mr. Umang for today's session. And for everyone who has participated in this session, I hope you brought something back home if you're at home right now. And I hope that you all learned something new today regarding the industry and how we are supposed to be presenting the data sets. And before we leave, for those who have registered for our FIDOA, which is tomorrow from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. regarding the era of electrical vehicles, I hope you can also come for that one. And then it's a big one, knowing that the current future is focusing on induction motors already, not so much on the internal combustion engines. But still, the fact that this particular event is 4 hours long. Initially, it was supposed to be separated to 2, but due to time constraints, we have put it all together in one go. And I hope that for those of you who have registered for this event, you will be able to attend it tomorrow at 4 p.m. sharp, Malaysia time. So, with that said, I think that is all. All questions have been answered. I hope that you have filled in the feedback form for today's session. They will also be considered for the attendance for the UCSI students. And for everyone else, I hope you have a wonderful night ahead and also a great weekend. Thank you all. I will end the meeting very shortly. Thank you.
Okay, I'm leaving the meeting as well. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much. And to everyone else.